Shouts to Tariq Nasheed, aka King Flex. Wonderful and excellent and thorough movie. Microphone check. If you haven't seen it, you have to go see it. I saw it the very first night that it debuted in Los Angeles, where I am. And it was cool to see Tariq again in person. Always real cool and down the earth. And it was really cool just to see this masterpiece. The fact that he not only talked about the elements, but went over the history of where all of these elements come from. And the cool thing about that is in the day and age where things are still kind of being disassociated from foundational or original Black American society, and then people will tell us that we have no culture, we have never innovated anything. And the thing is, that's totally not true. And this is a testament to that. One of many different things. And just to stay on the subject of hip hop, I like the fact that he dispelled a lot of things that people think are commonplace within the hip hop culture, as far as the narrative and where it began, as well as like the dances that go along with it that people don't understand. This is just one of many different aspects of original Black American culture. Hip hop, jazz, rock and roll, all of it. The sad part about it is like these musics have been demonized. Like seriously, demonized upon their debut and totally maligned by mainstream society. But then as the appeal goes global, and there's money to be made off of it, it just, you get a lot of these types that will now say, hey, it's ours. And no one wants to give the person props that actually was the beginning of that. And it's a trip too, because the fact that it was demonized, it was just a Black thing when it was demonized, or other derogatory Black terms or anti-Black terms that are used against us. You could see it in jazz, as I mentioned before, rock and roll, as I mentioned before, and hip hop. I've seen that because I'm what people might call Generation X, so I have a long history with hip hop music. Being a popper and b-boy myself, and also being a musician playing on hip hop albums, and even dabbling in a little rap myself, but also being a music historian. So I know a lot of the stuff that he's saying and talking about in his movie, but there's a lot of stuff that I didn't know. And I think everybody, whether you're a music historian or not, should check this movie out. It's definitely the truth about things that don't really get shine much. People don't understand that foundational Black Americans have a culture. Foundational Black Americans, original Black Americans, is an ethnic background. It is not a group. It is not some kind of political organization. It is an ethnic background that has an actual culture that has spawned from that. And people will try to sign everything away as if we had no origination of anything. And that's going to stop. I'm so glad that Tariq did this movie, and all the people in there. Some really cool parts, man. Like, just beautiful. And funny parts too. The ones that I laughed at was Cornbread and DJ Hollywood. They had me cracking up. Lord Jamar too. Great movie though. I mean, man, I feel like there's so much to say that I can't even say much about it. And for all the naysayers, stop. Just stop. Because anything that you've done, because I've seen it, and I've thought about doing videos on a lot of that, but there's a lot of great people that have really great responses, Tariq being one of them, and people like Truth Savior as well. And the culture going back to 71. I forgot the name of the channel, but they DJ Faze and Green Eyes are all on that. But yeah, being a person that's been into hip hop culture since I was a kid, and being a West Coaster, there's a lot of similarities when it comes to the culture that it was born out of that I even recognize because of my own ethnicity and culture. People don't understand these musics and scenes and stuff came from foundational Black American culture. If you are an original Black American, you would know that. Trying to engraft other people into it when they weren't there from the beginning or have no connection to that culture won't phase us because we already know what that is. So for all those that are lying and naysayers and certain people that I don't want to mention their names, and you all know who they are. If you don't, oh well. I'm just here to give props to this movie. It's a great movie, very informative, and it did a great job when it came to talking about the history of hip hop. And no, it is not insulting people. It's not insulting Jamaicans or Latinos at all. Tariq definitely highlights the beginning, but he also, gives props to those those that have participated in, the culture as well. He's not insulting or anything. He's just setting things straight as things need to be set straight. Now that this thing is more of a money-making opportunity than it was when even I got into it, which was the early 80s. So, yeah, man. Go and check out Microphone Check. Great movie. Shouts to King Flex and everybody in that movie. Peace.